So Rashid's been getting some love lately when it comes to Street Fighter 6. Um, and one of the main guys is um, Takuchi or something, Takachi. I think he won a tournament, if I'm not mistaken. And he's not the only one. I think if I'm not mistaken, the other person is Big Bird. So the bird, like Big Bird and Angry Bird, I get confused with them. But I think Angry Bird is actually a Ken main, and Big Bird, or is it the other way around? I don't know, but I did see a tournament with with I think it was Big Bird, or was it Angry Bird? Oh yeah, Big Bird for sure, Big Bird. Um, using Rashid, and it was a team tournament or something like that, which was Punk, Big Bird, and Angry Bird in the same team, and Rashid won his game versus damn, who was it? I think it was a JP. I think, um, which is crazy because it's like a crazy zoner. So, and then if we look at Takachi, the tournament he won was against a Luke. So these are top tier, you know, um, top tier characters. I think right now at the top you have JP, Luke, and Ken are the three most used characters. Um, and that makes them top tier because they're easier to learn with and stuff like that. I still like Rashid, but um, I, I've been playing a lot more with like JP and Lily, um, mainly because that anti-air, the fact that he doesn't have any anti-air, you have to constantly be moving with him and making your opponent guess with Rashid, so they could forget about jumping on you. Um, yeah, you pretty much have to create a mental stack on your opponent and give them different looks and then catch them, from mid range mainly. So like you bounce out of range and then you come back with heavies. Um, and you can pretty much beat anybody, but if somebody has um, like a really quick jump or a tricky jump and they time you well, Rashid doesn't have really very good anti-airs. So he has to use meter in order to um, to get a good anti-air. Um, so yeah, he's hard to use for sure. But yeah, just wanted to say that, and it's good to see that Rashid is being used more, and he's getting some love in the game. But the tournament so far that I've seen, we have a Ken winner, so a guy won with Ken, which is Angry Bird, Rashid, Blanca, Ryu, and I think those are the main ones that I've seen that won big tournaments, which is crazy because you got Ryu up there and you got Blanca winning a tournament and Rashid winning a tournament, and the only ones that I think have won from the top tier that have won a tournament is Ken. So I don't think I've seen a JP yet win a major tournament. And he's like the guy that people mostly complain about. So it just lets you know how balanced the game is, and how like a lot of people are gonna say, "Oh, this game is not balanced because of the fact that you have JP and Ken. It's so easy to use those guys. Most of the people you fight against online, when they use Ken, they use a wake up DP. Um, they start mashing and doing stuff like that because he's so easy to use that um, you could shoot out three different moves and one of them is gonna connect. In other games, we have a new character. um, that I want to talk about because he looks pretty. I've seen a lot of characters in Tekken, but this guy, he looks very interesting. Um, I've heard people say that he looks like he's trying to be too cool or something like that. But but I think he looks pretty good, personally. Let's take a look at the trailer here. I've already seen it, but I just wanted to see it, kind of go over it real quick. I think, yeah, he's French, and from what I heard, he's the founder of the Raven Corporation, which is um, the one other guy who I also find it interesting. Put the volume up for a little bit. Get ready for the next battle. Tekken 8. New challenger. See, when I first saw him, I thought that thing in the back was like a rifle, but it's actually not. And he looks really good. I mean, he looks really cool. He has the glasses look good. Everything is just fitted perfectly, like his suit and everything. Yeah. So what I'm looking at, as far as the gameplay goes, he reminds me a lot of Noctis. Um, that I don't know. Tekken 7, there was a DOC character, and he was from Final Fantasy, which I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy, but I got him because he had a sword, and he would make it appear in his hand, and he would use the first person I saw him use that character was Maximilian dude, and I remember looking at it and I was like, dude, that character looks pretty cool. So I bought the DLC and then I played it and he was pretty cool. But that's what he reminds me of. And the thing about that character is that he's really easy to use. He's very user friendly, like especially if you're like new to Tekken, you're gonna have fun playing Noctis. Is it Nactus or Nactus or something like that? But point is, you're gonna have fun playing with him, and if this guy is anything like Nactus, he's gonna be just as easy and just as fun to use. Because there's a difference between being easy and 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 being fun and easy and fun to use. And sometimes some characters, like for example Rashid, they could be hard to use, but also fun. You just keep wanting to learn more about their character. So that's he's thinking about that ass whooping he just gave you. His movements though, like in his character design, remind me a lot of um John Wick, because he has like the short range weapons, like the knife, and then the gun. The only thing that's different is that sword that he has that I thought was a rifle, which would be cool if that sword was actually also a rifle, right? But I mean, so far, I mean, this character, man, he looks really good. I can't wait to play him. And at first, one of the ones that I was trying to use was that I was trying to main was which I don't know yet. We got to play the game. Was Raven. People were saying he was going to be too hard to use or whatever, and I was like, eh. And then there was I forgot his name. I think he was getting his ass beat right here by Chevalier. But Alex Anderson. What's his name? Alex Anderson? Something Alex Anderson, whatever. But yeah, that guy. I was planning on using him. But he's a little stubby too. Like something about stubby characters that I always end up using, and I'm kind of getting tired of it because it's like the range on them sucks. But the other type of characters that I like, but I just don't ever get a chance to use because there's not that many of them, are characters with weapons, with like swords and stuff. And this guy seems to like have the big range too. So um, yeah, he has everything. He has a sword. He has guns. He has dual knives. And he has a yeah. What I like about his sword that it seems to get heated up in his patch, and then from there he's able to slice up better or something, which is pretty cool. Um, oh yeah, so I can't wait for that. Pretty cool. But anyways, moving on to this. This was something that I saw that was very interesting. This is moving away from games now. I'm talking more about movies and stuff like that. Now, recently, before I saw this trailer, people were talking about like the fact that the fact that Marvel was starting to fall out, and they had all these different characters that not a lot of people cared about, or at least not the people that watch or care about Marvel comics or Marvel universe, cinematic universe, really cared about. And that was one of the reasons. Of course, there's some people that are going to say that the reason is because too much diversity or something like that. You know how people are. But I personally think that it's too much of the stuff that we don't care about and we've never really wanted to see. When you still have things that we want and we've been caring about, but you haven't shown us yet. Like for example, X-Men. You know, you haven't touched X-Men, which you should because everybody knows who X-Men is. Um, you haven't touched Fantastic Four. Everybody's been waiting for that. You haven't touched Blade, who you teased us with the actor. You said, "Oh, the actor." You showed us the actor. He looked just like Wesley Snipes, which I was excited about. I was like, I'm ready for Blade because I'm a big Blade fan. I liked the movies, and I have all the movies. Actually, I have Blade 1, 2, and 3, and I watch them. Every time I just want to be reminded of good movies or whatever. I watch those movies because even 3 was good for me. Even though a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's not as good" or whatever. I really enjoyed the way the fight scenes were made. They were a little bit less CGI and a lot more, there's a lot more sword play in my opinion. Um, but this is a step. This new trailer here that I'm about to show you guys. This is a step in the right direction because for a long time, a lot of these characters that we were talking about that I personally thought was gonna probably save Marvel were coming from Netflix. The more gritty characters like the Punisher, Daredevil, and those type of characters. They were more violent. They were more dark. And I was always wondering how are they going to tackle this Disney? How is Disney gonna tackle this if they're very iffy about showing blood, about showing nudity, about all of the stuff that was on that Netflix was okay with doing. Nudity not so much, but violence definitely. Netflix was big on the violence. And this trailer, is showing me something good. One is an interesting story, and two, a darker story, a lot more, violent. and it's showing me that they're going towards that direction, and it's giving me hope for stuff like Blade, stuff like Punisher, stuff like even Daredevil Reborn that they were talking about they were gonna do, and it's showing me that maybe they're gonna come out of this slump, I guess, that Marvel's been on. So let's go ahead and check this out for a little bit. We're not gonna watch the whole thing, maybe a little bit or something, but because I don't want to get copyrighted. So
I see everything that you are. I always have.
I don't know. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but it just seems like it's a little bit excessive in my opinion. But I mean, he's a bad guy, so I get it. he's,
Don't be afraid.
he's like, don't be afraid of this blood on my shirt, on my jacket.
You have so much pain in you.
So if for those of you guys that don't know, this character, was from the Hawkeye series, which I enjoyed. A lot of people didn't know about that series that I talked to personally, and didn't really enjoy it because they're not really fans of like characters like Hawkeye. Um, it's one of the lesser popular Avengers, but this is one of the characters, and it was one of the bad guys that worked for the Kingpin, and now that she's gonna have like her own spinoff. So
You, you, so much rage. Rage that you can't contain it.
so as you could see, I was gonna because I thought that was gonna be more violent. As you could see, that this is a lot more violent. But showing this here, right when he beats up this guy and there's like blood in his
I see
hands.
everything that you are.
You could tell that it's gonna be a lot more bloodier. And there's another scene in this trailer if you guys want to go check it out, where somebody gets shot in the head and his brains come out of the top, and there's this guy in the back like looking at it like, yeah, whatever. It's like, let me see if I could find it so I could get that screenshot. Cause so it's like I said, it's a lot more violent. So it seems like they're going to start doing that now. But I can't find it. So, but you guys could go check that trailer out. Sorry, I had to cut it short there for a little bit, because I had to do some other stuff. But as I was doing that other stuff, I did notice that there was a trailer. It may have been around already for a while, or may not, at the time of this recording. But um, I think they're trying to bring back the old guys, and I'm saying that in a respectful way, like not because they're old, but it's because they're like dead already, right? Everybody knows that Tony Stark died. Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, died in not in game. Was it in games or was it? It was the other one. I forget the names of the movies. But point is, he's dead. The finger snap, boom, died. Um, and people just can't move on from Iron Man. And me as an artist or as someone as aficionado of art, I like to move on. I like to create more things. There's nothing better to do than to create more than to create that makes you create more things than to leave the past in the past, and to make new characters and to tackle new characters and to tackle new projects. And the fact that we can't get past Iron Man and Captain America and these guys that are already, to be honest, let's be honest, they're old now. And we're gonna keep bringing them back because we don't have the creativity and we don't have the guts to tackle new things and do it in a better way. And listen, this is in my opinion the mistake or the easy way out that Marvel is going to take. If they do take this way out, this is going to be this isn't going to be original. This is not going to be about the art, and it's going to be all about what sells tickets. Now, yes, true, they are in the business of selling tickets. They are in the business of selling these products. But I feel like I said before, as I was saying before I cut the video, there's the X-Men, right? There's Iron Fist, right? That you could do way better. I know, Disney could do way better with Iron Fist. There's Blade. There's so many things that you could do that people have been asking for. You don't have to go back to these guys. You don't have to do this. You know what I mean? And even if the listen, I do think that you should listen to the fans, but sometimes you shouldn't. And in this case, you should not listen to the fans. I know they want their old people back because they can't get over, their little characters and their attachments they have to them. But as an artist, you have to push forward. If you're not evolving, if you're not pushing these characters to the next level, then leave them behind. Focus on new characters. That's the only way. You got to keep pushing that line. You got to keep pushing those stories, or else we're gonna keep cycling the same stories and stories over and over and over again. And to be honest, I don't want to see Iron Man again. All right, I love Robert Downey Jr. He's a good actor. Iron Man was pretty good. The character, the way he portrayed the character was pretty good too. All right, not the biggest fan, but I understand why people like him. I understand why people like Captain America. But this would be the easy, lazy way out, right? To just keep giving people same old, same old. When you have so many other things that you could be focused on right now, like the X-Men. Like I don't want to repeat myself, but there's so much things that you have still that you could use, and you're not doing it because you're afraid, which is something an artist should not be, afraid of trying new things. You know what I mean? And they're not even original things. They're things that you have in your repertoire that you could use from other people. But not even that type of risk do you want to do. But let's go ahead and watch this. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, or maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah, I saw these guys coming back, and I was like, here we go again. There's the last part of Hulk, of She-Hulk. I know a lot of people didn't like She-Hulk, but in the last episode, there was something that they talked about where they were just pushing out these formulaic movies that just hit those same things that people just go to see, right? So they weren't really pushing the envelope. They weren't really doing new creative things. They were just doing these things that they knew that people wanted to see. And this is what they're doing again here. But, let's just watch it, see what happens.
Heroes. It's an old-fashioned notion. But the world can still use them.
Ready.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Jesus Christ.
We destroyed Thanos.
I'm just going to say it, okay? Let me just interrupt this real quick. Whatever it takes, just when they said that, it just really got me thinking, like I guess, like the guys that were doing these things, they were like, you know what, people ain't watching our stuff anymore. Let's just do whatever it takes. Let's just give them the same old shit. That's just what I was thinking.
It's inevitable. There will always be more to finish it.
This is just the beginning.
She tore a hole in space. There's a different reality leading into ours.
What are you prepared to do?
So yeah, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing, but basically, you saw that there's more of the timelines. The other thing I wanted to say about the timeline, the multiverse thing, is that it's a little lazy, and I'm a little tired of it. That they're just using that as an excuse or as like a thing that's gonna happen. I think that should have been later down the line when you don't have any other options. But the thing is, you do, and I'm gonna repeat myself again because I mean, you have the X-Men, you have Blade, you have Daredevil, you have all of these. The Punisher, dude, the Punisher, you know. And the thing about it is that I thought that I saw something good in this new Echo trailer. But then now I see this and I'm like, dude, if they're gonna bring these old characters back because the fans are bitching, I'm sorry, that's what it is. That they're not real artists, dude. I'm sorry, that's just what it is, dude. And I know it's guys, oh, you're condescending, and you're if you're not pushing the envelope, and if you're not trying to do new things with your art, and see if you could come up with different ideas, and you're not even really doing that, like I said, because these are characters and stories that have already been told in comic book form. You're just taking those and trying to put them into film, which is an art in itself. I know it is, but why aren't you doing that? Why are you so afraid of letting go of these older characters? Because the consumers are complaining about it, you know. And I'm sorry, I'm not even saying that the fans don't matter or stuff like that. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the point. The point is that you, as an artist, which I don't even know if I should say that because I feel like you're just a. Well, I mean, it is just a company. I'm just upset that you're taking the lazy way out when you have the power and the money to do way more. Um, but anyways, that is just my opinion. Um, but you know, hopefully this is just for one thing, for one movie, right? And then from there we can start tackling these other projects. And by the way, you know, they did the I think I went over this, but they did tackle a bunch of things that we didn't ask for. You know, they did tackle a bunch of stuff that the people aren't familiar with. And I do agree with sometimes trying new things, but at the same time, if there's things that you haven't tackled and then you're doing all these other projects, like for example, the Immortals. I think that's what it called, or is it the Immortals or something? I think it was that. Um, or was it the one with Angelina Jolie, the one with the gods or something like that. Nobody asked for that. You know what I mean? And I get it. It was, in my opinion, it's an underrated movie, right? Um, but still, there's so many things that you could have done, and you went and did that. And then there's a whole bunch of other projects that you tackled that nobody really asked for. When you have so many stuff on the table that people did ask for, you know what I mean? Um, and I think that was a mistake. You know, that's what I think, anyways. But anyways, guys, it's just my opinion. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one.